I want to tell you a story about Russell. Now, Russell is an engineer at a Fortune 500 company. When I shared my AI interviewer prompt with him, the first thing he said was, look, I've been an engineer for 21 years and everything I do at work is proprietary. I can't sell any of that stuff. I was like, all right, fair enough. So we kept going. And the prompt started asking about other areas of his life, his hobbies, the problems he solved at home, and that's when he mentioned the step stool. Now, his granddaughter visits a lot, and he wanted her to be able to reach the bathroom sink on her own. So he did what engineers do. He thought through the problem, designed something sturdy and safe, and he built it. A beginner woodworker using 21 years of engineering knowledge to solve one small problem for someone he loves. Now, his number one product idea at the end of the interview? A step stool build pack. His design, his process, the mistakes to avoid, so someone else can build the same thing without the trial and error. Now, he never thought about it before that conversation, and that's exactly what we're talking about today. Hi, I'm Kristen Hess. I spent more than 30 years in marketing, and I help adults over 40 turn what they already know into simple digital products and practical online income streams that they can build alongside real life. So if you've been quietly wondering whether you missed your chance to build something online, I want you to hear this clearly. You're not too late. You're not too cynical. You're not bad at this. You may have just been looking at an online business world that was never designed with your life in mind. And today I want to show you why that actually works in your favor and where to look for the product idea that's probably already hiding in your experience. Now, let's start with the obvious. Gen X has seen some things. We watched infomercials promise real estate riches with no money down. We watched pyramid schemes get rebranded as empowerment. We watched Be Your Own Boss turn into someone selling protein powder out of the trunk of his car. And we watched internet marketing go from banner ads to blogging to drop shipping to crypto to passive income gurus standing in front of rented sports cars. And through all of that, a lot of us developed a very finely tuned BS detector. You know the one. It goes off the second someone says you can make money online while you sleep. But somehow there's 47 steps, a private mastermind, and a countdown timer involved. Now that reaction is not a character flaw. That is pattern recognition, my friends. You're not suspicious because you're negative. You're suspicious because you've lived long enough to know that when something sounds too good to be true, there's usually a catch sitting in the fine print waiting for you. So I'm not here to tell you to stop being skeptical. Don't. What I want to suggest is this. Maybe your skepticism isn't what's holding you back. Maybe it's actually the thing that will make your business better once you finally get started. Because when you're skeptical in the right way, you ask better questions. Not just, can I make money online, but is this actually useful? Would someone pay for this? Can I deliver what I'm promising? Can I build this without turning my whole life upside down? Those are quality control questions, and they matter. So if skepticism isn't the problem, well then what is? Well, here's what I see over and over again. People over 40 have so much lived experience that it all feels too ordinary from the inside. It's like living in your own house. You stop noticing the furniture. But someone else walks in and says, wait, how did you make this work so well? The thing you don't even notice anymore might be exactly what someone else would pay to understand. Someone will tell me, I don't know what I could sell. And then 5 minutes later, they mention that they've spent 15 years helping their friends rewrite their resumes, or they're the ones that always plan the family vacations, or coworkers are constantly asking them to explain software, or they help 3 people navigate this super complicated life transition. And I'm sitting there thinking, that's the thing you're going to sell. But they don't see it because to them, it's just what they do. So let me give you some examples so you can start seeing this pattern in your own life. Maybe you spent 20 years managing teams and you know how to onboard a new employee without overwhelming them. That could become a manager's checklist or a first 90 days guide. Maybe you helped your parents downsize and learned how to make emotional decisions about what to keep and what to let go of. That could become a planning workbook for adult children navigating that season with their own parents. Maybe you figured out how to meal prep for a diabetic spouse without turning dinner into a second job. That could become a simple recipe system or a weekly planning guide. Maybe you changed careers after 40 or survived burnout, organized a complicated household or trained a dog, planned accessible travel, helped a teenager through college applications, or stretched a budget through a hard season. Those are not random life events. Those are places where you gained real insight, solved real problems, and learned what actually matters. The challenge is you're standing too close to your own experience to see the value in it. That's what I call expertise blindness. And if you watched last week's video, you'll know what I mean by that. And for Gen X especially, I think we were trained to undervalue this. A lot of us came up in workplaces where you just figured it out. You didn't name your process. You didn't package your knowledge. You solved the problem and you moved on because another problem was already in line waiting for you. So when someone says turn your knowledge into a digital product, it can feel strange, maybe even a little self-important. So maybe, who am I to sell advice, isn't the question that you should be asking. Instead, it's, who am I not to help someone avoid the long way around? Now here's where I want to get really practical. Most people approach a digital product by starting with the format. Should I make an ebook or a template, a mini course, a planner, a Notion dashboard? And those decisions matter, eventually. But if you start there, you'll end up with what I call a product-shaped object. It may look like a product, it may have a cute cover, but if it's not built around a real problem you understand and a person that you can actually help, it's just a digital craft project. And I say that with love because I have absolutely made digital craft projects. They feel productive, they look productive, they give you that lovely little dopamine hit of look at me building a business. But then you try to sell it and you realize you skipped the part where someone actually needed the thing in the first place. So don't ask, what digital product should I make? Ask, where does my experience create a shortcut for someone else? That's a very different starting point because now you're not trying to invent value from scratch. You're looking for value that already exists. You don't have to be the world's leading expert. You don't have to teach everyone. You just need to help a specific person solve a specific problem with something you understand well enough to explain clearly. That's your first digital product. Not a business empire or a 12-module course with a bonus vault and a private community called something cute like the Abundance Circle. A simple product, a useful product, a product that gives someone a clear next step. And this is where people over 40 have an advantage that I don't think gets talked about enough. You've lived through enough seasons to know what actually helps. And you know the difference between advice that sounds good and advice that works when people are tired or busy, stressed, and trying to make dinner while answering a work email. Practical sells, clear sells, useful sells, specific sells. And people who have been through real life are usually really good at creating things that are practical, clear, useful, and specific. So if you've been stuck on the idea that you don't know what you'd sell, I want you to consider something. Maybe it's not that the value isn't there. Maybe it's that no one has helped you look at your own experience through the right lens. That's exactly what I've been building. It's called Someone Will Pay for That. It's a live 2-hour workshop where I'll help you use an AI interviewer prompt to pull product ideas out of your actual life. Your work, your hobbies, your skills, your hard-earned experience. Not generic ChatGPT ideas, not make me a meal planner, your actual experience, your actual patterns, your actual value. In the workshop, you'll walk away with 3 potential digital product ideas, the best format for each one, and the strongest idea to start with, because that's the part a lot of people skip, right? They either don't see the idea at all, or they see 14 possible ideas and they immediately need to lay down. So we're not doing that. We're going to narrow it down and find the idea with the best chance of becoming a simple first digital product that you can actually finish. Now, early bird pricing opens June 9th. The waitlist link is in the description. Getting on the waitlist just means that you'll be the first to know when early bird pricing opens and you'll get $30 off. No weird pressure, no secret guru handshake, just a practical next step if you want help finding the product idea that's probably been hiding in your experience this whole time. And whether you join me for that or not, I want you to take this with you. Your skepticism is not the problem. Your age is not the problem. Your experience is not too ordinary. The problem is that most online business advice has been asking you to start from the wrong place. Start here instead. What have you lived, learned, solved, repeated, explained, organized, simplified, survived, or just figured out that someone else would be relieved to have help with? That answer might not be your forever business. It might not even be the product you sell a year from now, but it might be your first proof. And first proof matters because once you prove to yourself that you can take something you know, package it clearly, and offer it to someone who needs it, this whole online business thing stops feeling like a weird internet fantasy and starts feeling like a skill. And we know skills can be learned. So if you want to keep going with this idea, watch this video next on how to choose a digital product idea that you can actually finish. Because once you know your experience counts, the next step is learning how to spot the specific product inside of it. So here's to your success, and I'll see you next week.